When you first look at UUID versus UIID, you'd probably just think, oh, that's a typo. But what if I told you that single letter, that one little change, represents a massive shift in how we think about our identity on the internet? It's the difference between being a simple tag for data and you actually owning your digital self.
So what's really in a letter? Well, on one side, you've got UUID, the Universally Unique Identifier, and on the other, UID, Universal Integrated Identity. You see the difference? The first one is all about data. The second one, it's all about you. The question is, how big of a deal is that really?
All right, so first, let's talk about the world we live in right now. UUIDs are kind of the silent workhorses of the internet. You never see them, but trust me, they're in every database, every app you use, quietly doing one very, very specific job.
And that job is pretty simple. It's to give a unique name to a piece of information. That's it. A UUID is basically a super, super long serial number. Think of it like a social security number, but not for a person, for a single entry in a gigantic global spreadsheet. Its only purpose is to make sure one piece of data never gets mistaken for another. And this is what one looks like. Yeah, just a random string of characters. It's totally unique and completely anonymous. It was designed so computers could talk to other computers about data. And for that, it's perfect. But, it has absolutely nothing to do with people.
But here's the catch. The very thing that makes a UUID so good for computers, the fact that it's anonymous and only cares about data, is exactly what creates this huge problem for us, the actual people using the web. Because as it turns out, labeling a piece of data is not at all the same as identifying a person.
This quote from the source material just nails it. A UID is a passive label. It's got no security, no proof of who owns it. It's just the shipping label on a package. It has no idea who owns the stuff inside that box. And in today's world, that's a massive problem.
So this is where that one little letter change becomes a full-blown revolution. Enter UIID, the Universal Integrated Identity. It completely flips the script. The whole idea here isn't to create a label for data, but to create an identity engine that you own. So think less like a shipping label and way more like a digital passport. So here's how it works, and it's pretty brilliant. You have one core ID. This is your true identity, and you keep it locked away. You never share it with anyone. Then, for every single app, every website you sign up for, you generate a disposable alias. It's like a one-time use key just for them. Now, if that service gets hacked or you just don't want to use it anymore, you just revoke the alias. Poof, the connection is gone. And the best part, your real core ID was never, ever exposed. And it gets even cooler. This whole system gives you something called a digital kill switch. This means you, personally, have the power to instantly and forever sever any service's connection to you. But the real game changer might be something called zero-knowledge proofs. Get this. It's a way for you to prove something is true about yourself without actually revealing the private information that proves it. So imagine proving you're over 21 to get into a bar without ever actually showing your driver's license or telling them your birthday. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. And this isn't just software. It's being built to connect with physical hardware to secure your identity in the real world too.
So let's just lay it all out side by side. I mean, look at this. The difference is night and day. UUIDs are for databases, UUIDs are for people, for human digital sovereignty. UUIDs are owned by the system, UUIDs are owned by you. With a UUID, the connection to your data is basically permanent. With a UUID, it's disposable. You can just throw it away. Every single point here is a fundamental shift of power, away from the system and back to you, the user.
So what's the big deal? Why does all this matter? Well, because this isn't just about a better way to log in. This is about building a whole new phase of the internet, what some people are starting to call Web 4. The grand vision is to finally tear down the walled gardens, those big tech platforms that have your identity locked up, and finally hand the keys back to you. Just imagine a web where your identity actually travels with you, seamlessly, securely, from one place to another. A web that's private from the ground up, where you're protected by a digital shield. And maybe, most importantly, a more democratic web, where smaller communities can have world-class security without needing a giant corporation behind them. This could break our reliance on just a handful of huge companies. And that brings us right back to where we started, that one little letter. Turns out, it's not a typo at all. It's a choice. And it's really the fundamental choice for the future of the internet.
Are we okay with just being a label on a box of data? Or do we want to be the ones holding the passport to our own digital lives? That choice is finally becoming ours to make.